This spot looks fire. And my brother's seen the most deer out of this stand. Like, he's been seeing a lot of deer up here. Hopefully this spot produces tonight. But judging by how my season's been going, I have absolutely no expectations. I'm convinced that I probably will not see a single deer tonight. So if we see deer, I will be pleasantly surprised. Spot would produce. I didn't count the tines on him, but he looked to be like a little 5 or 6 point, nice little basket rack buck. I didn't see him until he was basically directly below me here, because they can move quiet down in that grass. But I saw him right there, and I was like, "Oh, that's the buck." I knew he wasn't a giant buck, but I pulled my binoculars up, and I was like, "Oh, it's a decent little basket rack." He wasn't wide, but he was tall, and he was kind of funky looking, so really cool. Finally, a decent deer. Doe just came busting out of the CRP across the meadow here. So either a hunter bumped them or a buck got them moving. I thought they were gonna come up the hill, but they ran really quick down through here, got into the thick stuff, and then just stayed low and slipped down the meadow there. Well, we're not walking out of the woods with a deer, but it was a good night. We saw a deer. I actually saw 2 more right at last light. I stood up and turned around and saw 2 figures moving through the woods, pulled out my binoculars. I could see they were deer. I think they might have been the same 2 doe that I saw earlier in the evening. But we'll say we saw 6 deer because every good hunter knows how to embellish a story a little bit. So we saw 6 deer. It's November 22nd. We got a nice high pressure system coming in here this evening. We had some rain last night. Woke up to really cloudy, misty, wet outside. But throughout the day, the cloud cover has moved on. The sun is shining and the barometer is going up. Hopefully that means deer will be moving as well. There's a monster buck in the field across this meadow, and he might have walked right past my other tree stand. Oh my word! I think it's Ian. Big 10 point. Holy crap! I don't know where he went. I saw him standing in the field. Oh my word! He could have literally walked past my tree stand down there. Got to be kidding me. Oh, light is fading fast. Oh. I hope he comes up here. I just saw the biggest buck of my life, and I didn't even get him on film. I'm really sorry, guys. I tried. I looked across the meadow here. It's about 150 yards, and there's this opening, and I saw a deer, and I pulled my binoculars up. I saw horns. I was like, okay, it's a buck. And then he picked his head up and turned towards me, and I mean, it had to have been, it was the biggest buck I have ever seen, ever. And I got the camera on him as quick as I could, but by that time he was gone. That deer was a monster. Oh my
see a deer. Now, kill a deer, gotta act like a deer or something, and then you gotta be a deer or something like that.
You get to see the deer, kill the deer.
Yeah, kill the deer.
Climbed up into the stand for what could be the last time for the regular archery season. Last night I saw one of the biggest bucks of my life, if not the biggest, about 150 yards across the valley here in the other field. Tonight, got a game plan. My brother and I decided to divide and conquer. I'm in the same stand I was last night, and he's actually in the lock on that sits over that field. So hopefully between the two of us, we can get another glimpse at him, maybe even put an arrow in him, or a different buck, I don't know. But what I figured out from last night is that these bucks are pretty much done rutting, and they're getting back on food, meaning that they're a little bit more predictable, and we might be able to pattern them. That buck came out last night in daylight, feeding. He was not chasing or rutting, or he was just standing there and feeding. Hopefully we can connect with him tonight. We're gonna do our best. We got two guys covering a pretty big chunk of land here. See if we can make it happen.